Hey guys, I'm Tim.
I'm Bob.
I'm Spencer.
Dan.
This is the Board Game Rundown. Today, we're trying something new. We're going to throw just a straight-up top 10 at you. And without much ado, we're going to get right into it. First, the top 10 is the top 10 games of 2021 new to us.
New to us, 2021.
Right. So there are some games. Now, we played a ton of games in 2021. Some of them came out in 2021.
Yep.
I will be able to differentiate, like,
Sure.
yes, this came out.
All but
Blah,
one
blah,
of
blah.
mine came out this year.
But yeah,
Nice.
I might have some honorable mentions or whatever. But actually, I've got 2 that didn't come out this year. Maybe 3. I got to check on one. Anyways, but yeah, we're just gonna go around, go 9 to 1,
What?
9 to
or
1.
10 to 1.
10 to 1.
Man, I was like, I totally screwed this list up.
That's a wrap.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
You guys all start at 9. I'll go at 10. I like to have more.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll just. Who wants to go first?
Let's just, their left to right is Bob.
Okay,
All
Bob.
right, I'll go
All right.
first. So I'm going to start out with my first one being the one that was not from 2021. It was
Okay.
technically not out yet,
I,
but it was new to us.
New to us.
Quest and Cannon's The Risen Island.
Oh, so that's technically going to be a 2022 game.
It is, but it was new to us in 2021. So that's
Correct.
why I put it
Oh,
on.
I'm
boy.
okay with this because
Oh, boy. Because
technically,
it is on the list.
For reasons.
yeah, there might be some.
Yeah.
Okay,
some
so
So
cheats.
Quest and Cannon by Short Hop Games, 1 to 6 players. It's basically like a pickup and delivery, but you can also attack people. You have some awesome dual-layer player boards. The components are amazing.
If for somehow you missed the Kickstarter, like you guys need to go and like start doing some research.
Yeah,
find
you
out
might
if
be able
you
to get on the late pledge,
late
or
pledge or something.
or talk to your game store and see if they make sure they get it ordered for you. 'Cause it's great. You can play it like all versus. You can do 3v3, 2v2v2, which is what we ended up doing.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, there's so many options to play this game, and it's cool because when you're on teams, you can actually like meet up and trade stuff and then go different ways and whatnot. And yeah, it was. I had a ton of fun with this game.
Pick up and deliver games. This was
Yeah,
a
it's
fantastic
one of the better
one.
ones I've played.
We went pretty in depth on our channel for this.
Yeah.
I probably can't snap to any of these because we're gonna have so
So
many
many
games.
snaps.
I literally might just link every big game we talk about in the
maybe.
description.
That's probably a good idea.
We'll see what
So make
happens.
sure you
I
check
don't
the
have access to
description.
my computer right now, so
Yeah.
it might be a little late. but-
Yep. But that is my number 10.
All right,
Number
my
10.
number 10 is The Hunger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Nice, okay.
it's a really nice deck builder with a board. Richard Garfield designed. It is I forget who made it. Renegade? Did Renegade make it? Anyways, so The Hunger
sounds right.
is like basically up to 4 players. You are vampires leaving your castle. You're hunting, and you're trying to get as far as you can to get as many points as you can, but you have to get back at
All
least
the
close,
way.
depending on the board. You know, within a certain vicinity of the castle to score your points. Similar to Clank, right? Clank,
Right,
you're going
yeah.
underground, grabbing treasure, and you're trying to get back up. Where The Hunger is just a limited amount of turns. So Clank ends when somebody starts to
When somebody gets out.
when somebody gets out.
Correct.
Then it starts like the end game timer. The Hunger has a specific amount of time as you are trying to get out, see how far you can get. The awesome thing is in The Hunger, the cards you are getting that are going to give you points also will slow you down because you are getting full
like,
and you're sluggish.
It's too much blood.
You know, you might feed on a drunk person and then that makes you move in the wrong
Crazy directions,
Yes,
yeah.
does all kinds of different stuff. I really like the theme. This game would
The art was
probably
really
be
cool.
higher if I had an opportunity to play it more.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is one of my favorite
That's a good
games. This is my number 10 out of 2021.
Okay, my number 10 is a game that did not come out in 2021. And technically, like, I had kind of played it before, but I never played a full game. It was just like some testing of stuff and everything like that. But I finally played a full game. I honestly don't even know if this was this year. But I
boy.
finally got everything ready and played a full game of Twilight Imperium 4, and I just wanted to mention it. It might have even been in
okay.
early January,
Technically,
but
I
I
guess,
don't
yeah.
care.
I got
I
you.
finally was able to. I just wanted to talk about this game, and so I made it 10. I barely put it on the list, but Twilight Imperium 4 is political risk on acid,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
guess.
Axis and allies in space.
Yeah.
On steroids.
On steroids. There you go. And yes,
Yeah.
it's just a super deep, heavy, risky type area control, but like where you don't want to attack the other people. You're like, listen, could you just like move off that planet for a turn and then I'll take it and then you can have it back next turn. You know, like, and you want to find ways not to fight usually. I mean, most of you have probably heard of it. It's a huge game, and I was just so happy to finally get it. Even if I don't remember exactly when we played it, it might have been early January.
I like
It's
the different
early
texts.
January.
Okay, there you go. He knows, and I don't.
It's all right. I knew, and I wouldn't even get to make it.
Yep.
But anyways, yeah, no, that's fine. It's your list. Do
Do what you will with it.
Live how you want.
Like
to
I said, I'm
man.
okay with Bob cheating because I got a couple cheats on here.
That
So.
was barely
I'm sure
cheap.
I
That
had
was a
some
new to
too.
me game this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I have a few where I did it wrong. I basically said these are the ones that stuck in my mind the most over the last year.
Sure.
And I'm going to go with number 10 is Dice Miner from Atlas Games.
Yeah.
That was a really
Yeah,
fun game.
okay.
I want to play that game again. I love
Dice
chucking
Miner.
dice.
Nice.
Just for starters, I just love
Right.
chucking dice. I don't know why.
Right.
So that game really scratches that itch.
That is
And
an
then-
honorable mention on mine for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Figuring out how to get into it and also screw your opponent over at the same time. Oh, I
Right.
love that.
Times. Okay, so my
Number 9?
number
That's
9.
crazy.
I know. It's usually follows 10.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep. Road Trippin' by Guilt Free Gaming. This is
Yeah.
a fun one that we
Yep,
got
yep.
where you're getting cards and you're trying to write down your clues on like a license plate and get your teammates to guess it and you're getting points. Like, loved doing that as a kid, like, going on road trips and whatnot and trying to, what does that license plate mean? What are they trying to say? But doing the same kind of stuff like with your friends.
It
Plays-
is fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm glad
2
you
to
had that one.
99. Yeah, 99 people, but I don't think I ever played with 99 people technically. But
Someday.
everybody's shouting out. "Yeah!"
It's a convention
Please
thing.
yeah,
don't
no,
ever.
please don't. Yeah, that is my number 9.
Okay.
Right on. Yeah, my number 9 was one that I believe Bob backed on Kickstarter, and then we got to play it at JuliaCon, and I was really into it. The Night Cage.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
yeah.
I believe that came out this year, right? Phil,
Yes,
this
it
year?
did.
It was an honorable listy kind of
Yep.
thing for
Yeah,
me.
no, I just
Yeah.
thought it was a really cool, like stressful,
Yes.
you know,
Co-op, yeah.
co-op, like, and you're trying to move around and the tiles
Very
are falling.
thematic.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just really creepy.
Mm-hmm.
It really just conveyed an awesome experience, and I had a really good time playing it.
Yeah, that
So-
was fun.
It's a good one.
Been trying to play it again lately because Zach still hasn't been able to open his copy.
Oh,
so-
no.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you should get like a little,
Wait for your power. It's
little
real
knife.
cold, your house, everything
Yeah.
set up
Get a little
there,
knife you
feel
can cut the
realistic.
plastic, and then it should come out
Oh.
really quick, and then you should be able to open it.
Or
Why
or
didn't
use
I
my
tell him
coconuts.
that?
I don't know.
Or you
Oh,
could
yeah,
use
I
Spencer's
hate him.
fingernail.
It's cool if you don't watch.
Okay, so my number 9, Bob, is it's kind of a cheat because it's not out yet.
Okay. What is that?
This game would be much higher on this list if it was out yet, but I moved it up because it's not out. I played it for the first time last year, and that's Shadow
Network.
Of
I had
course
a
that's on
feeling
there.
this was
Yeah.
going to land on your
Nice.
list.
Shadow Network is a Cold War era worker placement game where you are sending your agents out to locations and getting intel and then turning those intel into, I don't know what the special word they use for the briefcases are,
Sure.
but you're turning them into these briefcases that are the kind of scale point wise, and it's a hardcore engine builder. Everything you're doing is building this engine and getting these points. It's kind of like engine build point salad, I guess. And I love the theme. I love the art. It is the perfect amount of crunch for me to where it's crunchier than a lot of worker placement games, like the way that you're putting this engine builder together. And I love everything about
Talent
it.
Strike Studios.
Talent Strike Studios.
Yep.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my full copy of it. And I don't know, the leaking system to where when you get materials intel from a location, the intel leaks to other locations. You choose where it goes, according to a certain list
Yeah,
or
you
whatever.
got a couple of options.
But then you're feeding these other locations. So, that location's not very good, so people aren't going to go there. But I'll start feeding stuff there so that they go there because I want to go here. It's just it's really cool worker placement engine building game. And we've covered it on the channel a bit. And once I get my full release, we'll cover
we'll
it
do
again.
a full review when it's out.
yeah.
We will not have a
Absolutely.
choice. But that'll be fine. I can't wait to see the finished copy.
Yeah,
that'd be
That'll
nice.
look really good.
Shadow Network.
All right, my number 9 by USopoly is Blank Slate.
Yeah.
Nice. That was a
Blank
good
Slate's
one.
really good.
I
That was an
love
honorable
that.
mention as well.
Yeah.
I still haven't played.
Oh,
I wasn't
that's all right. I haven't
here.
played Night Cage
Oh
yet.
man, that's why we had so much fun with it.
I think you'll really like
Not
it.
So
exactly
it's
the
a-
same.
It's a word game where there's a card and it'll give blank
Blank something or something blank.
Yeah, blank something blank. Everyone else has to fill in what that blank is, and it can be anything. And it gets crazy.
Yeah.
It's just
You want to try to
great party
match with
game.
exactly one person. That's because that's how you get the most points. You got to
So-
find someone that you're linked up with.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blank Slate
It's
is
like-
from 2018, but this
but
is
it's the
a new
first
to
time
us,
that I'd
Right.
played
new
it.
to
Yeah.
us list.
Yep.
Is
So
this
we'll allow it, I guess.
do the two words need to form a phrase, or can they just be like word association?
Almost like word association. You can't
Okay.
add a single letter.
Right.
But so something was like, I don't know, dark. You could put ness on the back, right, and make darkness.
Oh, you can even do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The whole
Oh.
because the whole way to score is to match other people.
But you
Correct.
could also do dark night, right? Like
Yeah.
just like word
Yep.
association.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Because really,
That's
all you're
awesome.
trying to do is just get everybody to match up
Right.
with other people,
Dark.
Right.
so that you can get the points.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
It's-
Then you like
It's so good.
Right? Like, what are you gonna
Dark
which way are you gonna go with this? Yeah.
It is so good. And
Exactly.
the only reason I didn't put it on my list was because it was like
3 years old. Oh.
3. Well, yeah, and I wasn't
new.
sure
But it was
how
new to
old it
us.
was, but it was new to us, and I really
a
liked it.
great
But I
game.
kind of wanted to talk about some of the other games.
Sure.
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
But no, like I'm so glad it made it on a list because I
Yeah.
think it's a fantastic game.
Yeah,
and
I
I
can't wait.
Yeah,
absolutely
so
love
go
it.
check it out. It's a great game, good party game.
Yep.
It's like just one. But
Yeah, we played it over Christmas, and everybody loved it.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so good.
All right, so my number 8.
8.
So this is a game that we, I think we got it from them to review, but it has been a hit. I have taught so many people how to play this at the Meeple meetups, and Garinto by Grand Gamers
yeah.
Guild, 1 to 4 players, kind of like an abstract strategy game, but it's super cool because you're like you have these different elements, and as you're moving these tiles on the board, you're choosing depending on the element, like something adjacent, something at a corner, something underneath it, and you're building up these different totems, and you're going to score points according to the end game cards, and it's a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Did you say who it was from?
Grand Gamers Guild.
Grand Gamers Guild? Yeah. Garinto is so
Super
good.
good.
That is one that like it's sort of like Blank Slate, where it's like pay attention to this game. This is
Yeah,
a really good
super.
game.
Yeah, Tim pulled it out. I was like, and then I
Right.
was like, oh.
I wasn't expecting much because
Uh-huh.
abstract strategy, blah 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 kind of thing. But the spatial
Yep.
stuff in that game,
And then
it's a great game.
The other board setups, we need to get the other.
Try something because every time I've taught it, it's usually teaching new people. So I usually do like the
Right,
basic
do the
setup.
mountain, right?
But they have a whole bunch of different types of like layouts that you can do, so it makes the game different every time. Yeah.
Great game.
Yep.
So my number 8 is just one of these games with just amazing components and art and theme. Vagrant Song.
Oh, nice pick.
that was good.
Yeah,
Vagrant
I
Song
forgot
is
about Vagrant
really
Song.
neat. I mean,
Yeah.
just really neat. I
Thematic
will wait
and-
to talk about it more.
Haven't been able to play that one.
Oh,
yet
you haven't
either.
played it yet? Oh, you made a face like I was.
No, haven't
there
been able
goes
to play
Oh
it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Vagrant Song is just really cool. The theme, you're like hobos on this train, but it's a ghost train. Whoops. And so now you've got to figure out like how to appease these spirits, right? Like so
Send them on their way.
yeah, send them back on their way so that then you can like move on. And there's all this. There's these. You can upgrade basically your characters in between. Scenarios and stuff. And it just does a lot of things like really well. It's really neat.
Yep. And what do you call that old school art? It's very like
Rubber hose.
Rubber hose art.
hose. Yeah.
It's almost Cuphead art, but it not as wacky.
Sure.
But anyways, the acrylic standees are just
Oh, yeah.
They were great.
beautiful.
I love
Yeah.
those.
I've heard such good
Just
things about this
beautiful.
one.
We'll play it.
Someday.
Gotta
play
give
it.
props to
Coolest
Jeff
standees
for,
I've seen.
showing
Like,
us that.
I've seen a lot of standees in other games, but the acrylic was super neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not Barbershop Quartets versus Ghosts, which was disappointing, but it's the next best thing. Daniel, you're number 8.
This is last cheat on my list. It's because they're 10-9-8, okay? But I don't care. This one's making my list 100%. I do nothing but talk about this game. I put together a game group on Sundays to play this game.
Jeez.
And guys, if you like social deduction, I have not seen anything come on par with Blood on the Clock Tower.
Yeah.
By the
Yeah.
Pandemonium Institute, it is 5 to 20, I think is what it lists on the box. It's something like that. But it's a social deduction game to where there's no player elimination. The moderator, I mean, you die, but like you still play. You just don't have your ability more. You're still allowed to talk and interact and stuff like that. Everyone has an ability. You might not love your ability, but it's there. It has a purpose, and it is usually for balancing reasons as well. So like you might be an outsider, which, I'm just the drunk. I just think I'm a different character when I'm actually this character. That's a terrible ability. And it's like, well, yeah, but it's because of player count. In order to have even teams, you're a good player, but your ability doesn't help the good team, right? It's this
Right.
balancing thing. And I think it feels great. And I've never had anyone complain about the drunk. It's so good.
I've
But,
had some drunks.
It is. It's really fun. It's really fun.
But yeah, just a fantastic social deduction game that you can. It comes out very soon. I mean, insanely soon. I cannot wait. I think it even started shipping for like pre-backers or whatever in late December. Like I think it's already shipping.
Sure.
I can't wait to get a physical copy. It's pretty expensive. I mean, for what you're getting, I think it's like $100, and I think that's great for what you're getting.
Surprisingly,
But-
yes, because when I saw the Kickstarter, I was like, oh, there's no way in hell
Right.
I'd pay $100 for a social deduction game. No way. Then
saw
we
the
played it a
plans.
bunch, and then I saw what the actual like production
Drawings look like,
copy
yeah.
is and how it works.
Right.
is amazing.
And it's also basically 3 games in one because the production copy comes with all 3 versions of the beginner game.
Right.
And so
And there's a zillion characters, but it's not like it's obnoxious like One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Sorry for fans of that game.
Right. You only have 25 possible characters per game, and then obviously player count says you'll only have however many of those 25 characters.
But it's not just like arbitrary characters. Like they're all you're choosing these because they're all very important to the different scenarios that you're playing.
Right. They are balanced within that scenario. You wouldn't really, I mean, you can, but you wouldn't really mix them around and throw them in other ones because they're balanced to play together.
And I also like how the GM has the ability to step in and say, oh, the poisoner's ability doesn't work this turn, but I'm not going to tell him that.
That's the other thing I was going to say is the storyteller's not just a moderator in this game. They call it a storyteller for a reason. You are building this world. You pick what roles are in the game. You pick what scenarios you kind of want to happen. Like, oh, if I poison this person at the start of the game, then this happens. And then obviously, player choices matter. They get to play.
There would be definitely some people that I would not trust to run this game.
Oh, sure.
I just know specifically one person on my brain that I was like, if they were like, oh, I'm going to run Blood on the Clock Tower, I'd be like, oh, I can't make it.
Oh, I'm sick.
I didn't tell you what day it was.
Yeah, exactly. That's funny.
But yes, Blood on the Clock Tower, Pandemonium Institute. If you like social deduction, you can find groups on Discord. We run it. Well, we haven't run it in a couple months, but we try to run them if we have
Hop on the
interested
Discord
people.
and say, Daniel, please, when are you going to run Blood on the Clock Tower? And he'd probably be like,
as
real
soon as we're moved.
Yeah, it doesn't take anything special. It runs off like a Flash type site. And then we just talk in Discord on a
Super
special
easy.
Discord. Yeah.
Super easy.
All right, my number 8. It was new to me. I don't know when it came out. From Grandpa Beck, Bears and Bees.
Hey, right on. Grandpa Beck made the
My
list.
kids loved it, and it's like it takes over Uno, which my kids would play the heck out of.
Right, and this
is
now
so
you don't
much
have to play
prettier.
Uno all the time.
I have to play
so-
Uno all the time.
That's awesome.
It's a game where you have flowers that have different colors, and you're trying to match up the colors in certain ways, and you have honey and you have bees.
2018.
2018. I have a lot of 2018 games.
Apparently.
That was your year.
Yeah. You just didn't know it until 4 years later.
Yeah, apparently not.
Good vintage.
Oh, but I really like the game. You should check it out. It's short.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
and
plays fast. So even if you don't like it, you're done quick.
Right. All right, that was fun. All right, next
small.
But no, I'm a big fan of the Grandpa Beck's games.
Yeah, there's
so
some good ones out there.
I'm always happy to have them on a list.
I just love games like this because this is a very simple one-step up replacement for a game that everyone plays. Yeah, a lot of people's families play Uno. You might be a gamer that's in a family and they only play games like Uno, and this is a brilliant way to introduce them to something just slightly
different.
deeper,
Yeah.
slightly
Yep.
better, and a little bit more entertaining for you because it's different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And if
And
you-
it's really good.
And if you're playing it in public and you have the table space, you're going to catch people's eyes.
It's a beautiful game
It
too.
is.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
All right.
Number
so,
7.
my number 7.
Oh, he's got a smirk.
I do. Galaxy Hunters.
It's funny because I was when I was like researching and like looking at stuff, and I haven't played this yet, but I was like looking back at videos that that we had done in 2021, and I was like, I haven't heard them talk about Galaxy Hunters in a while.
Oh, we talk about because they're defending the planet.
Well, that's technically there's a different game called Planet Defenders,
Sure.
and we always sing it together.
Yeah, we do.
It's stupid.
Galaxy Hunters by IDW Games, 2 to 4 players. I really enjoy it because you have like a mercenary that you get to pick from with a whole bunch of abilities. Then you have these different mechs, and you get to put them together. And then depending on what they do, they line up with different spots. And then you get a loadout, and you go to different planets, and you're fighting monsters, and building up your guy with more stuff and abilities and gear. And yeah, I think it's a really neat game. It's underrated. I don't hear anybody like talk about it at all.
And it doesn't
just-
help that IDW like RAP.
Right.
Yeah.
Right?
A super original worker placement game.
Yep.
Like the way everything works.
Yep,
like
basically
it's
a
worker
worker
placement,
placement,
sure. But when
basically,
you play it doesn't feel like you're just doing worker placement. The combat is really interesting.
Yep.
And one of the best, if not the best way to do a player board I've ever seen. The way everything
Unless somebody dumps
interlocks
pop
and
all
everything.
over it? Is
I
that
was
how that
waiting for
works?
that.
Yeah,
waiting
but
for
on the
that.
other
Sorry.
side, and on the other side, he had a copy too, and so he gave me the tiles that he got ruined, and I just traded them.
Yeah,
So,
I
yeah.
just had to make a
know.
joke. Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I've only played maybe twice. I
Maybe
know I've played
twice.
once, maybe
Yeah.
twice, and it was a really good game. I just don't know why. Like he said too, it just didn't stick with me. Like it's not like I'm like, oh, I gotta play that game again. I was just like, oh, that was really fun.
Yeah.
and then I moved
Moved on.
I remember
Yeah.
having a slight problem with how the damage worked.
Right,
or
because there's two different
something.
ways for the combat to go
Yeah.
down. Because if you have an expansion, it goes down like one way, and the other way is like where you actually roll dice. I think it was, and then one of them it was like, well, you just deal the damage.
Right,
And that's what we were trying to figure out which way was the best way to do
Yeah,
it.
that's right.
Sure.
So yeah. That's why we should get more plays of it in.
Galaxy Hunter.
Fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough. All right, my number 7 is a deduction game. Is it? With some spatial stuff, too.
Interesting.
Picture Perfect.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
So
that
Picture
was fun.
Perfect, right? Everybody is
Yeah,
trying
yeah.
to recreate the same
scenery.
tableau, right?
Yeah,
The
uh-huh.
same picture. But you've got limited information, right? And you're picking up these envelopes, you're looking at the cards in there, and then you can add like bonus points, right?
to the
into those cards, and you put it back out there, and you're constantly like rearranging
people
and
around,
because somebody
yeah.
wants to stand next to somebody, but they don't want to be next to so and so, but they got to be in the front.
Right.
So the one of the things I really like is that you can't score it perfectly.
Right.
Like
You won't
because
ever
there's,
get a perfect
there's
score.
always going to be some
Contradictory
contrarian
information, yeah.
thing, right? Like where the kid wants to be in the front, but like some parent wants that kid to be like you can't see their
Yeah,
face.
don't see their face. Yeah.
You know, or something like that.
Classic.
You can't please everybody all the time.
So I just like that because then you're going to try to pick which way you want to go with that. And sometimes it's like, I didn't even see this dude. And so I've got to just kind of
set him
guess,
over here.
like, and then everybody at the end, you just reveal. It does that awesome thing we've talked about recently
With the stuff on the sides.
So you've got your player screen, which covers up your picture as you're building it. Right, so everybody else is kind of doing their own thing. But on the outside of the screen, I've got like half the rules here and half the rules here. So you're basically, if you're looking at your neighbors, you got like all of the rules.
Right.
Which is a really
Neat.
inventive
Yeah.
way to kind of do like a player aid.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just had a blast with it. I think it's a really sort of ingenious game. And Picture Perfect. I thought it was pretty dang cool.
Okay.
That's a good one.
I have a quick question because I might have to pull an audible here.
Yeah.
Was the board game mechanics get together last year?
Yeah. It was,
Okay.
It was in
2021.
2021.
Okay.
Good.
So my next team's a deduction game?
I know what that is. Yeah, I thought about putting that on there, but I wasn't sure what year that was either.
So it's a deduction game, but it's cooperative.
Wait.
What?
Yep.
Oh, not what I was thinking of.
Oh,
that's
man,
the one
I
I was
didn't even
thinking of.
think about that. I might have to pull an audible for that later.
Also, let Spencer put it on his because it's 2018.
That's true.
Oh, exactly. I got more 2018s on here.
See, I didn't get to play that one.
you missed
So
that one.
anyway, the Shipwreck Arcana, we've talked about it a
Yeah, that was
lot.
a good one. So
This
good.
is an insanely simple, and yet once you get halfway through the game, you're like, like really thinking. But it's a little deduction game where you have cards out that have I don't know if you want to call them abilities or prerequisites on them. where it-
2017.
Yeah, it was
Oh.
20. Yeah, it was much older. Yeah. Other reason why I didn't put it on, I was like, that's pretty old.
I
I'm
don't
not sure
care.
what year that was. Yeah.
It's the list.
I liked this game so much they got it for me as a gift because I
Yeah.
wouldn't stop talking
Yeah.
about it evidently.
Yeah.
So thank you again. But so there's cards out with like prereqs, like if your card is a 7, 8, or 9, or tile, or if your two tiles add up to an even number and stuff
Right.
like that, and then you have two tiles in your hand ranging from 1 to 7, and you put one out face up, and then everyone else can guess what your other tile is. If they guess correctly, you get a point. If they guess incorrectly, there are negative points, and basically there's a negative and a positive point track, and whichever one reaches the end first is win or loss condition. And then, so the cards have like phases on them, and the numbers have pips on them. So the card goes away once the number of
Fades.
pips equals or exceeds the number of moons. So like you have to time your guesses correctly and stuff.
you
And
don't
there's all
lose the
that,
good
yeah, so that
cards.
you don't lose the good cards, or so that you're not. Because if a card fades and you don't guess correctly that turn, then you get extra negative point stuff. So
yeah.
there's so much going on here in this tiny cheap package.
Like little tiny box.
Yeah, I didn't bring
MSRPs
it.
for like
Actually, I
15
think it is
bucks.
over there.
Yeah.
But it's a tiny box. It's super cheap, and talk about just a great cooperative
The
deduction
production
game.
value and the artwork on those cards.
Yeah,
is
Yeah.
super
Oh,
cool.
tarot
Right.
cards.
Yeah,
too,
tarot
which we're
Slated
all
is real
fans
nice.
of.
Yeah,
I don't know if
yeah.
you mentioned Miramorph Games.
Oh yeah, I hadn't said
Yep.
it yet. Yep, thank
2
you.
to 5 players. Yep.
It just came
It's
out
a
of
good time.
nowhere for
Yep.
me, and I was
Same.
blown away.
Yep.
Yeah, Jason and Katie showed it to us, and it was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun. I bought 2 copies. I bought one for myself and then one to give as a gift for like a Meeple meetup. So make sure you're getting on there.
Hey. All right, Spencer. What game from 2018 was your favorite game?
That one's later.
I say that with love.
Plan B, Equinox.
Oh, nice.
Equinox is further on my list, but yeah.
Right here,
Equinox.
Equinox. This is the ugly one, but
It's not ugly.
It is.
compared to the others,
Compared to the other one,
So
it is
that's your number 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my number 6. So
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
we
Oh,
could
they're
just-
right there.
Nice.
It's,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like a betting game in a way.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, definitely has that push your luck.
So you
betting
got all
kinda
these
thing.
mythological creatures like lined up, and then they're trying to make it through to the equinox,
Five
right?
levels.
And so you're playing cards on them. When the whole row gets filled, the critter with the lowest value disappears, fades, and
Fades,
memories.
extinct.
And you're
And-
trying to bet which one is going to make it to the end, and everyone else sees where your bets are, except for maybe the first one.
Yeah, you can also start with a hidden bet.
The hidden
Yeah.
bet.
And then
They
the
all have different powers.
right, they have different powers, but you have to have bet on those
Yeah.
creatures and have the best
Have
bet,
most influence,
which gives you
basically. Yeah.
most
That
influence,
power.
which gives you control. So then that allows you to use the power. It's really good.
Yeah.
I really
And
like
I like the art.
Equinox.
It was fun
I
art.
thought it was okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great art. Yeah.
Yeah.
The art is very cool.
Yeah, I like
this
the art.
it didn't make my list, but I mean, I will say, someone who doesn't tend to like gambling games and stuff, this is probably the best like betting and pushing your luck gambling game I've played. I loved it.
I just had a great
So
time with
good.
it and really enjoyed the theme. I loved it the first time we played it. I
Mm-hmm.
loved it when we played it again to review for the show.
Right.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
had a really good time.
All right. So my number 6 is another one that I've been taking to like meetups and whatnot and teaching people how to play, and it's been a hit everywhere I go. Cascadia.
Oh, right
by
on.
Flat
Oh, yeah,
Out Games.
yeah.
1 to 4 players. You're basically building this like dual layered puzzle where you're gonna get points for your terrain. You're also gonna get points for having your species in appropriate areas depending on what they want.
Yeah, they
you know,
wanna
for your
line
end
up
game
in certain
story.
ways.
Yeah, but it's a great game. You're pulling them out of the bag, and you've got like a terrain and a creature token, and you're taking one of those sets, adding your terrain.
And I love how you
somewhere.
can manipulate.
Yeah, you get
what
tokens.
you can take.
You can get tokens to either like wipe the creatures out and get new ones, or you can choose like a different terrain with a
So you
different
don't have to
token
just take the pairing. I
Correct.
think that's a really awesome mechanic.
to
I
get
really-
past like the
Yeah.
well, my marketplace sucks.
Yeah.
So it's like well, you can do something about that.
Yeah,
yeah.
manipulate it. Yep.
No
do
one
it.
ever whines about that though.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever.
None of my friends ever whine about that.
Yeah, friends and family.
yeah, friends and family. Yeah, they don't tend to whine about those things.
I thought it was a little too light,
Yeah.
but I did like it.
Yeah, well, we did play the beginner animals,
Oh,
so
sure,
you could
sure.
play
Oh,
a
yeah.
more
No, it
difficult
gets more
animals,
difficult,
which would
Okay.
make it be a little
But
trickier.
it felt like it was just like
It's very fast.
very fast.
There's like
yeah, it's
several
30
animals.
minutes.
Each animal has like several different powers.
Yeah, there's like
Isn't it?
4 or 5
Yeah.
of each animal type that you can mix
You
and
can-
match
yeah.
to
But I
create
mean-
higher difficulties.
that was my only gripe about it, and
Right.
that's not like a game plays too fast. Like now I have more time to play more games, or that again. Not the end of the world.
Yeah, well, I think it also lends it to be more accessible too, because then people aren't like sitting around and waiting and this
For
and that.
sure.
So yeah, we were able to get to the table, get it played, get it done. People have a good time.
I have not been able to play this one yet either.
Okay.
Yeah, Cascadia is pretty good.
Yeah.
it's good.
It's got a lot of buzz.
Yep. So my number 6 was Equinox. We already talked about it, so now we will. That's Cascadia.
I know.
is.
That was the second.
And then we'll go to Dan
yeah,
for your
Equinox.
number 6.
My number 6 is a very new game to me. I just played it for the first time
I'm wondering if we're going to start to get the crossover.
a couple
Oh, it's
days
coming.
after Christmas,
Oh wow.
because I got it for Christmas.
Oh.
Nope.
The Search for Planet X. It's the only game I got for Christmas.
Oh okay.
So the Search for Planet X, we'll have a review on it either just recently or very soon.
Yeah.
One of those two will be correct.
Yes.
And Search for Planet X is a pure deduction game where everyone has a shield and like a notepad, and it kind of has the kind of searching element of cryptid, but it's app driven. With the spatial element of Sudoku, where there's logic rules, where things can be next to other things and not next to other things, and in a line and all this kind of stuff. And you're just trying to get the most points. I was going to say you're trying to be the person to find Planet X, but that's not necessarily true, as we saw in our game. So,
Yeah.
But you just want to have
No,
the
it's
most
really
points at the end of
good.
the game by finding Planet X gets you a lot of points, and having correct research papers gets you.
Yeah, like there's comets in Sector 3.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and stuff
right.
like that. Yeah, but yeah.
By Renegade Games.
Sorry, I didn't even say it yet. Yes, by Renegade Games.
Um,
I know it too, and I'm just not saying it.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
1 to 4 players by Renegade Games.
Super good.
That's also mine.
Oh, same number?
Yeah.
Hey, a pure
Perfect.
crossover. I think it came out in
You're
2018.
I don't know.
No,
what
did it really?
Probably.
That would be fun.
I'll
I
look
thought
it
it was
up.
2019.
Spencer,
know,
you
it's
got
around
anything
there.
else?
you want to add to that? Well, yeah, we said it was.
You mean want me to go on to?
No.
Oh,
Before
to
Bob goes,
say
Yeah,
about
anything to
it.
add
it's
on?
2020.
Okay.
Oh, I did not think. I thought there was a.
No, I knew it was
Maybe
new.
it
I
was
just didn't
Kickstarter
realize
in
which.
2019.
Yeah,
20,
maybe it was
2021.
Kickstarter
Came out
2019.
Yeah, no. I don't have any more to add to that. It's just it's great deduction. And I love deduction games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So my number 5, I believe we're going to start some more crossover on this
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Unfathomable by
Oh,
Fantasy
what's
Flight
that?
Games.
I'll talk more about this later.
Yeah.
But I'll let you say what you want to say, and I'll wait.
3 to 6 players. Yeah, I won't get into too deep. 3 to 6 players, like I said, semi co-op, right? And you're replaced Battlestar Galactica, but now it's H.P. Lovecraft themed. And you're just on a boat. You're trying to get your boat to the destination and making sure that you don't die in the meantime.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We're on 5.
Yep.
That
My
is
number
number
5
5.
is Unfathomable.
Nice. Like I said, crossover.
I was double checking.
Yeah.
Again, just to kind of add to him, I mean, it's just a reskin of Battlestar Galactica,
Yeah.
which
But-
is fantastic and
Right.
streamlined a bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely plays faster. I mean, even if it's just half an hour faster, that's faster. I think I think the streamlined that they did, while subtle, does cut 30 minutes off that game. I do think
At least.
At least.
I love the boat mechanics. The fact that they drift
we're
as you're
moving through the boat, and
as
drifting
you're
down the
sailing,
side, and then
like,
trying to
it's
move
so
back up the
awesome.
front.
I mean, if you've played Battlestar Galactica, you know what you're kind of getting into. And if you haven't, I mean, just a great social deduction game, but you are going to be sinking 2.5 hours into
Yeah,
this
Sure.
game.
Yeah, and you can play. Well, we played at 4 and had a really good time. 4 and 5.
Caleb's,
5
I think it was
players?
5.
We played 3.
Yeah.
3 was good.
Yeah.
My place, you played 5, I think.
We played
Oh
4
yeah,
or
and then
5.
your place.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
So we
we-
played this game more than I thought.
Yeah, we played a bunch, and it's been
I
good every
still haven't
time.
been able to play it. You ain't played it in my place.
I'll get into my thoughts about it
Sure, Tim. What's your number
later.
5?
But my number 5 is Descent. Legends
that
of
was
the
talking
Dark.
about later.
That's my number 4.
I haven't played it enough yet.
Sure.
I've only done the one.
Right, me too.
No,
but
but it's so
I've
good.
gotten enough out
I've
of it
played
that
a
like this is like Spencer. It keeps calling to
Yeah,
me.
yeah,
Like
no,
I'm
yeah.
looking at it and I'm like, oh, we've got to, and we'll get we were going to be set up now that we're going to be able to have some time and
To get some missions in.
and put some stuff into it. But yeah, it is. I was really worried about the price tag. It was one that I was excited about because I love Descent, second edition, right? Journeys in the Dark. But I was worried, and everything that they did and changed has been an improvement.
For the better, yeah.
It has been for the better.
Yeah.
The miniatures are great. I mean, the components are awesome. The box is weird. We're like, what? This box is so light.
Yeah.
But it actually holds all of the structures.
Assembled pieces. which is
Assembled
so
pieces.
nice.
Looking at you, Great Wall, that is a huge thing you did not do in your
yeah,
game.
could have very easily made a little tiny thing like they did
Just-
and had all the assembled
Just
stuff inside.
something that you could keep everything assembled. I just think it's great. I love it. It's a really good
Yep.
experience.
And a lot of cool small things on the app too that you notice as you're playing through the different
Yeah,
scenarios
like,
and
I'm
stuff.
going to investigate this tree. Oh.
Well, even like small things like the menu, like because as you play through, you can change people that are in your party because like
Sure.
certain people have to go on certain quests.
Oh, yeah.
And then like when you save it, it goes back to the menu screen. It has the people in your party around the campfire, and as you change members, different members are around the campfire.
Even better.
It's just small little details like
Yeah.
that. They did such a good job with
That's
it. The line
something-
of sight thing on the app. Oh, it's brilliant. Because so many times like, can I see that guy? I don't know. Do my corner cut? Well, I push the button on the screen, and it shows you everybody you have line of sight on.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
cool.
It really is
This
fantastic.
this was my first time playing Descent. I mean, I've played quite a bit of Imperial Assault, which
Sure.
is like
Played Descent.
the same thing.
Yeah.
Play Descent. Pretty much.
But,
Same rules.
But this was a fantastic. This was the best version of a game like that I played. The like dungeon
Yeah.
crawl.
Yeah. No, they nailed it. They
App-driven dungeon crawl.
nailed it.
They
It.
It did.
nailed it.
Yep.
So you're number 5,
5.
Dan?
Yes.
Unfathomable.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Oh, my number 5. It came out in 2018.
Yeah.
Stone Myers, Between Two Castles.
Oh yeah, between two
yeah.
castles, Mac and Ludwig.
Yeah,
That's
I
a-
only got.
This was
this
new to
year.
me just in 2021 and was worth
Gosh,
mentioning
that was
for sure.
so good.
This
I
was,
really love
I
this
actually
game.
own the expansion, but I cannot find a copy of the game to buy
The
right
base
now.
game?
Yeah.
That's my problem. I'm like, I can get the expansion, but I can't get the game.
Get on
but-
Stonemeyer's website?
I haven't tried
Oh, I haven't
there.
tried that
I
either.
was trying to
That's
get it here at the FLGS, but
Yeah,
they
yeah,
keep
Yeah,
saying
same
back
thing
order.
here. Yeah.
Before
Yeah,
before
maybe
you go into the
backordered
game,
on that.
it was literally 11 for me. Like I had it written down
Yeah,
and I replaced it
I
with
have an
something
11
else.
as well.
It's,
I've played it a ton.
Yeah.
It's really good. It totally just blows both Between Two
Yep,
Cities
that's what
and the
I'm saying.
Castles of Mac
Of the
and
two
Ludwig.
days it
agree.
combines, it's better
It
than
takes
both
the
of them.
best parts.
Yeah,
of
yeah,
both.
yeah. I do not need to play Castle of Mac and Ludwig
Or Between Two Cities.
ever again.
No, off you have that. It's
And,
so
and
good.
Between Two Cities.
I
So-
would play Mad King Ludwig again though, just because I haven't found a game that does that building spatial thing like it yet.
Sure.
Like if there was a streamlined
I think that's
version
true.
of
I
that.
think the tiles. The tiles are too
They
small.
are a little bit different, but
Sure, that you can get the big version, but it's so expensive. But yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, what do you think of the game, person whose pick it was?
Oh, so what I love about this game is you're building two castles, and it's kind of I want to say point salad.
A little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Engine.
Tons of
You're
ways to
trying
score
get
points.
the most points you can out of both of them, but
Because
you
you're
have to remember,
cooperatively you're cooperatively building with your neighbors.
Yeah, you're cooperating
Who are
with your
enemies.
neighbor, and you are only going to get points for your lowest scoring castle. So if you have all your points in this one, that's not going to be good, especially if your opponent on this side has more points on over there.
Yep.
So you have to try to keep things even and see what they're doing. And
It is such a like if you just tell somebody that it's like, well, somebody's going to be tied, and I've never seen it tied because the scores are always so
Right.
different. And yeah, I
good.
just
It
love
has-
that scoring mechanic.
It just has my favorite thing. I said this in the review, I think. I've said this all the time. It has my favorite, like, type of co-op or whatever I've ever seen. Like, my favorite co-op moment to where I have to draft these two tiles that will work in these two things, right? And then I'm like, okay, this one's better for that, that one's better for that. That's fine. And then I go to Tim, and I'm like, okay, Tim, like, we need to make it like the best castle ever. We do this, we do that, and we talk about where we're gonna place this, and I'm like, okay, cool, we're gonna do that. Okay, screw you. Okay, okay, Spencer, I want as many points as possible.
Yeah.
And
We're gonna build the
I
best
do
castle
something
in the
wrong. I love that you cooperate with the opponent
Yeah.
until the second you turn away from them, and then the other guy matters.
really
but then at the very last second, you can be like, you've got too many points. I'm going to screw this one.
right, and yeah, I love it.
yeah, it's really good. It is really
All right. So my number 4 is, like I said, Descent, Legends of the Dark, Fantasy Flight Games, 1 to
Yeah.
4 players.
Yep.
So
good.
yeah,
It's really good.
it's
App
really good.
dependent, right?
App dependent. Yeah, you got to have the app,
Yep.
but the app is great. It
Yeah.
works really well.
That's really good.
Yep.
That's really good. My number 4 is my first new to me last year.
Okay.
It is from 2018. Hot year for games.
Wow, really?
No kidding.
Treasure Island.
Um,
This came to me on recommendation from Dan. I accidentally bought the expansion first, and then was able to go back and get the original core game. I just really love the because everybody is basically, you've got Long John Silver locked in a tower. And so one player is Long John Silver, the other people are running around the map trying to find his treasure. But they've only got so much time before he escapes. And so he is having to give information, but he can lie, or, like, there's different things he can do.
Vague with it.
Yeah. And I just love, like, that you're tracking on the map, you're drawing little circles, everything's within 2 miles, and you get out this compass.
yeah, you're actually using like protractors
and
and stuff.
Yeah.
you're doing like a circle around. And you're like, okay, so, and then as Long John, you're like, okay, technically that is just outside the circle, so I can say that is not within 2 miles of whatever. I don't know. I just love the game of the game. I want to play this more.
Yeah.
I just really, the components are awesome. It's just a really neat game, and
Yeah.
really happy with it. But Treasure Island
Yeah,
from
that was a fun
2018.
one.
Yep.
We played it for the first time. We've got a review of it. It's really cool.
Okay, my number, I think we're on 4, right? My book's not
Yes.
open.
Yep, 4.
My number 4 is a game that I was finally able to play at Bob's. A hidden movement game where one person might be a serial killer.
Oh, Letters from Whitechapel.
Letters from Whitechapel. I was fine. This is a game I had my eye on for a long time.
Yeah.
It came out in 2018. I'm just kidding.
No.
I was like, it's
way older.
older than that.
I'm just gonna say that for every
Yeah.
game now.
Way older. Yeah.
But yeah, one person is Jack the Ripper, and the other players are like police constables or whatever you want to call them.
2011.
There you go. Look at
Ooh,
that.
wow.
Decade old.
Probably the
Mark of
oldest
quality.
New to
game.
Dan.
Probably the oldest game Dan's ever
Yeah,
played.
mark of quality. Nah, dude, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he is trying to go commit murders and make it back to his base, and the cops are trying to figure out where his base is and where his next murder is, and they're trying to catch him. And it's just a fantastic hidden movement game. I have been blessed this last year with a lot of hidden movement games. One of them might show up on Tim's list.
For sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
that was a
if I could put my mind to
might.
it, then I'm sure I can think of it.
But I have played so many hidden movement games finally this last year, and I still think though Letters from Whitechapel is my favorite. I just think it plays so well. It really gets you into the theme, the way that the map design looks like an old printed version of the city and
Yep.
everything. And
Whitechapel.
this is a fantastic hidden movement game. Although the one Tim will mention is also great.
You're all good. I got an honorable mention one.
Letters
too.
from Whitechapel. Bob, I don't know who that's by.
2011. Oh wait.
Was that Fantasy Flight Games also?
I don't
They,
know
think
they
it was
did a
logo.
reprint of it, but I don't think
Okay,
they did.
that's
the
probably the
original
one we played
version.
then.
That's probably the one I played.
Yeah, Fantasy Flight.
right.
But yeah, please go on.
Okay, my number 4. 4, right? Yeah, 4.
Same thing.
By Rio Grande. It was 2018.
Oh no.
Yep. New Frontiers, which is the board game version
Come on,
of
2018?
Race for the Galaxy. And I have to thank you for showing me that it exists.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
my gosh.
I didn't know that was the first time you had seen it. I was just like, how do you not own this?
Yeah, that was the first time I'd seen it. So I got this for Christmas, and the day after Christmas, I got it out and played with my daughter, and so I can say it was last year.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because we played it, but that
we
was
played,
we played it last year.
We played last year.
Yeah, literally
Yes,
hours before it changed. But yes.
New Frontiers is from 2018. Did we
That's
establish
what he
that?
said, yep.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
So it's a game where you're trying to make the best possible galaxy that you can, like a Federation or whatever you want to call it. You've got this really cool board in the middle, and you've got these planets that you're exploring. When you explore one, the circle just fits into the board upside down, where it's all gray, none of the powers are on it. And later, you take the things you've explored, and you get settlers, and you flip to the other side, and you put your settler on it. Now you've colonized it. Now you get the power. You also have all these developments. You've got this development board, but this time, instead of all developments being random cards like they are in Race with Galaxy, it's a board in the middle, and you get to see what everyone sees what they are.
It's like Caverna style.
Yeah,
Where they're set up like that.
So if I can see, he has the Imperium, and I don't want him to get all that military. I need to take it before he takes it.
Oh, I totally hate drafted him once.
Valid strategy.
I am someone who doesn't love Race for the Galaxy. It's just a little too much for me. That not knowing exactly what you're doing and having all these complicated things come to you in a draft style, I'm just like, ugh. And this game perfectly fixed the game for me. I mean, New Frontiers is fantastic. Like, it would have been an honorable mention for me. From going to how little I enjoyed Race to the Galaxy to how much I liked this, I thought was worth mentioning. It was just such a jump. But yeah, beautiful player board. I like the multiple ways of ending the game, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the planet's rotating to a certain
Yeah,
distance.
and it shows you how far. if you
Yeah,
colonize
everything's
too
like marked
many.
with red
Yeah,
and everything. It's
too
just,
many. Yeah,
yeah.
and you're paying for it with money instead of with cards. So you also have the
Right, you have
victory
two
points.
currencies in
Yeah,
this
two
one, right? You have your
currencies.
trade goods you're making, but then also you're just making money and stuff. So
Yeah, it's great.
yeah.
Cool. All right, so my number 3.
Number 3. We're getting
Number-
down.
Yeah.
The top 3 games we played last year, Bob. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
That's crazy.
I'm about to say it right now.
Oh, what is it?
Venice. I know. Brain crack games, 1 to 5 players. It's like a pickup and delivery engine builder. Cool thing about it is, like, as you go by your different locations, if you got workers there, you can like have them activate their buildings just as you're going past them. And if you stop at a building, then you get to advance your worker so he gets stronger, and you're trying to fulfill your contracts and whatnot. But then you also have to like pay money because as your two boats like pass each other, your gondolas, then like it's suspicious. So you got to like pay like bribes and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. And even the pieces are neat. You have these little gondolas, and it holds your little dude on there, holds all your goods on the boat, and yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It plays a little bit long, but I like it. So,
It looked really cool. I have not been able to play this one yet.
I haven't played it yet,
Me
but
neither,
yeah, it did
but
look cool.
You guys bring it here. We'll play it.
Okay.
I'll tell him twice.
Yeah.
My number 3 is from 2019.
Ooh.
It is a game that I believe that Dan and I played and then got everybody else hooked on.
Oh, interesting.
Marvel Champions.
Marvel
Okay, yeah, that was good.
Champions!
Marvel Champions we played for the first time last year.
Oh, that's right. We
last summer.
tested it at your house first.
Yeah. Dan and I learned how to play. And then we're like, oh, guys, we got to review this.
Yeah.
And then Bob like immediately got it. And then we all started immediately like buying up like a bunch
All
of the
the bits.
extra
Yeah.
Yeah,
characters
it
and
was
everything.
so funny seeing them get into like TCG mode. Oh, I don't have Black Panther yet. Where's Black Panther?
It comes with Black Panther.
Quicksilver, I mean.
But Marvel Champions is a living card game from
Yeah.
Fantasy Flight Games. It is alive
good.
and well. There's more stuff coming out for it all the time.
Nice.
I can't wait to get the new Spider-Man set
Ooh,
because it's
okay.
like I believe it's like Miles Morales,
Oh,
Spider
yes, I've
Gwen,
seen this one. Yeah, yeah.
and I forget who the villain is. But anyways, looks super cool. I love the art. I
love the alter ego.
Uh-huh.
just
one of the
there's
coolest
so
things
many
in a
mechanics.
superhero.
Like it, as a fan of like Sentinels of the Multiverse,
Yep.
this plays similar with a little bit more customization.
I wouldn't say it plays similar. It's a similar idea.
Yeah,
Right.
conceptually they're similar.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
But you're going against a villain, you know, and there's like henchmen that could come out that you've got to defeat. So in that way it is similar.
Right.
But yes, the way you can customize your decks and or you could just play it right out of the box and it's still really good.
Yep.
it's just really neat. All the heroes that I've seen are like way on theme. Like they play.
Absolutely.
That is
Yeah,
the
the
thing,
most
right?
coolest thing.
Like
Yeah.
the game's a little fiddly. It's
It
not.
can
It's
be-
not as bad as Sentinels.
I was gonna say, not
it's
as
a
bad
little
as
fiddly
Sentinels.
and it plays a little long.
Yeah.
It
But
can
I
run
mean,
long.
if you're okay with those two things, I mean, this is fantastic. Anytime you play a hero, you're like, oh, I'm Hawkeye, so like when I reach back, I always get the arrow I need and stuff. And oh, I'm Doctor Strange, so I have this like deck of like conjurations that I can
spells
like
and stuff, yeah.
dig into and like, it's so good. I've never played a game that's like that good of like every character feels so
Like that
asymmetric, but
character.
also like them. Yeah, it's
the Quicksilver, you
fantastic.
keep untapping and doing things
Yeah,
over and over
Iron
again.
Man's
Yeah.
stuff all gets bigger and more powerful as you add his
Right.
his stuff to it.
And
Yeah.
obviously the villains are the same way, right? They
Yeah.
feel asymmetric and everything too.
Yeah, so Marvel Champions, it's technically 2019. I don't care. I played it for the first time last year and loved it.
Yep.
But my next two games are definitely 2021.
Okay.
Number
My
3?
next game is the game of games when it comes to the trilogy by Eric Lang.
Oh, okay.
So Ankh,
Okay.
Gods
Oh my
of
God,
Egypt.
Ankh isn't on my list.
Yeah.
Ankh should totally be on my
but
list.
Haven't you played it before 2021?
No.
Oh, I'm
It
thinking of
just
the other
came
game.
last
I'm thinking of the
year.
other game. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So
Ankh should be on my list.
Eric Lang, so
Yeah.
Blood Rage came out, and I didn't really love it, but I did have a bad experience with the Teach game and everything, so that's fine. Then I played Ankh, and Ankh, it kind of blew my mind, and I don't know why, because it's not like crazy or anything. Like a lot of people are gonna play it and be like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of like this," but I loved everything about Ankh. I just kind of love Egyptian too for some
Yeah.
reason. I really like that pantheon and everything, and so the art in that game, the action selection system of that game, the card system of that game, the combat system.
Ankh should be on my list, and it should be in the top 5.
Yeah.
If not top 3. I loved Ankh.
But then after Ankh, I did finally play Rising Sun, and I thought Rising Sun was great, but it didn't beat Ankh for me.
Yeah.
Out of the 3 games, Ankh is my go-to by far, and it's a game that while it's like a pretty big, deep, like not long game, but it's a basic hour and a half, 2 hour game probably. It's that type of game.
Area control.
Right, area control, good call. While it's that kind of game, it is a game that I would very rarely say no to. I think like if someone said, "Hey, you want to play Ankh?" I just think it's really good,
Yes,
really well
it's
done.
so good. I
So-
love Ankh so much.
So that's Ankh, Gods of Egypt, my number 3.
How did I miss Ankh?
I know.
I was waiting
was
for a
It's in my
Gods
top
of Egypt,
5.
that one.
It's on my
No,
top
it's
5.
Ankh, yeah.
Easily in my top 5.
Okay, so my number 3
Yeah.
and is definitely not from this year or last year. But for me, it's a game that has been on my list forever, and I finally got to play it with you guys last year. It's Tapestry.
Oh,
okay.
nice.
Oh, but it was so good.
I don't think I played with you because I've been trying to teach that game to everybody. So I don't think I played it with you.
Oh, well. And aren't they coming out with an expansion
Yeah, there's
the
already
new
one,
one.
and the second
There's
one comes
2
out like
expansions.
literally this month.
this month?
Yeah.
Oh. So Tapestry, the reason it's not higher on my list is because I've only played it one time with you guys.
I've,
Well, I mean,
still,
3's pretty high.
Yeah.
Three's pretty high. I loved it that much.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a game where you're trying to. It's asymmetric.
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, you got an asymmetric civilization. You got these basically going up all these different tracks, like science track,
yeah,
military
all the
track,
tracks.
technologies and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Oh, Tapestry's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to see what the expansions do to it.
Yeah, they call it Civ building, right? But it's really just engine
yeah, it's just still
building.
Yeah, it's more.
Yeah.
Plans Employs was the first expansion, came out in
Right, and then
2020.
Arts and
then Arts and
Architecture.
Architecture come out 2022, even though I
This
believe
is not on my list because I believe we played it in 2020. I think that's when you
probably-
taught
I think
it to
I
me.
taught it to you. Yeah.
So that's why I didn't make mine. Otherwise, it definitely would have because
What's
it's
the
one of my
art on
favorite
that
games.
is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
I loved it.
2.
My number 2, again, another one that I keep taking to the meetups. Everybody that sees it,
Oh, I know.
I'd like
Does
to
it start
play
with a K?
No.
Oh, I really thought that was going to be on your list.
Oh, that's his number 1.
Quiet you. But even like when people walk by and they see like, I want to play that. After the Empire.
Yeah.
Oh,
Gray
I was
Fox
wondering
games.
if this-
Yep.
okay.
2 to 4 people.
Bob's 1 and
It's
2
a-
I've not played.
Yeah. Worker placement, tower defense, and it's so cool because like you're flipping over after you take all your worker placements and you're building up your like literally wooden castles with turrets and you can convert them to stone and you're recruiting mercenaries to help defend and then you flip over all these cards and here come all these guys from all these different directions to like raid your farms and try to take down your walls and so cool. It's got such presence. Like you just see this stone
Yeah.
3D castle built with all these guys around there and archers and turrets and so cool. And everybody that's played it has liked it. So.
Yeah, this is a hardcore honorable mention for me. It was just I looked at it and it was just really hard. Like I could have made a top 20 so easily.
Easily,
We were
yeah.
very blessed last year
it
with
was good.
games.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's
after the Empire.
After the Empire. it's great.
So my number 2 is Unfathomable.
Hey,
oh, that's good.
look
Yeah.
at that.
Yeah, no, I love it. I just have had a really good experience. Even when I was mad at one of our players, which should have provided
Yeah.
the worst experience
Yeah.
ever, I still had a good experience. It is a really good game. It's a ton of fun. It has worked at multiple different player counts. I do not feel like it overstays its welcome.
Yep.
I feel like it is appropriately tense. I love the way the mechanics work and the updates that they made from BSG, Battlestar Galactica. I think that you totally, unless you were just in love with the Battlestar Galactica theme so much, you can totally just go out and get Unfathomable and get a fantastic experience. It is going to provide the same experience but faster with its own Lovecraftian theme.
Yep.
So as long as you're okay with that, it is the way to go.
Yep, I agree.
yeah.
It's actually funny that it also fits in a profile to me to where I would be totally okay owning both. I think that
I mean,
while
I
they
do, and I don't
the
feel the
same-
need to get rid of one or the other, right?
While
Yeah.
they feel the same and stuff, I think there are some groups that I'm going to want to play BSG with, and some that I'm going to want to play
Sure.
Unfathomable with, and
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it depends on if I brought my Switch and how charged is it.
right.
Because if it's got a full charge, we could
Shots
go
fired.
for BSG. And if it's only halfway, we better play Unfathomable
Right.
because it's shorter and I don't
So
want to run
funny.
out before the end of the game.
So my number 2?
Yeah.
My number 2 has already been mentioned, but I kept my mouth shut because of drama. Marvel Champions is a fantastic game. Yeah, I mean
It is.
It is.
I probably
so
should've
well
made
I
my
was
list.
going to be
didn't
Yeah,
I was
I
going to be
made
shocked
mine.
if it didn't make your list.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to call you out on it either because I was like,
I have had such an amazing time. Like I said, I just kind of played Hawkeye out on a whim once,
Yeah.
and I was just like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
And I played Spider-Man once,
Captain
and
America.
he felt awesome. Captain America was our first
I can do
game.
this
you know?
all day.
Oh man, that ability I
So
could do
good.
this all day is so awesome.
So good.
Marvel Champions, we've talked about it a bunch.
great.
If you like that, if you want that super thematic where we just team up and beat up these bad guys and have to rescue civilians as they're beating us up, and then like Bob mentioned, I don't know if you went into it, but so if you're damaged, you can switch to alter ego mode,
Right.
and then the villain can't hurt you because they don't know who you are. But if you're in alter ego mode, that means you're not helping save the city, so the bad guy can accomplish more scheming and
schemes,
stuff.
yep.
And it's so
Yeah,
well
it makes
done,
so-
guys.
It makes
It's-
such,
yeah.
such sense.
I was excited. I had the bar set high when we were going to
Yeah.
try out this game, and somehow it still blew me away.
yeah,
and
yeah.
so that's high praise. Marvel Champions.
That was a great game. My number 2's also been mentioned. We have the crossovers coming. Descent by Fantasy Flight.
There we
Nice.
Yeah, you talk about it all the time. So this
I want to
makes
play
sense.
it. I don't know why, but it just resonates with
Yeah.
me so
Yeah,
much.
it's
I
like,
love
hi,
that
Spencer. He's
game.
like, when are we playing Descent again?
Don't greet me until we talk about
Yeah.
this.
yeah.
Oh, I just love every character has their own story, and they're asymmetric, but they work in a team so well. And I love the app. I love everything about
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
It's
you're-
great. The miniatures, they look so good. It really lets you just get into the game.
Yes.
Yep.
I will spot it just so I could keep
All
playing
right.
it.
That's funny. Okay.
Number 1,
My
Bob.
number 1, Quiet You.
I know there'll be.
Hey, Bob, does it start with a K?
There's another game I've been taking to the meetups and teaching people.
I see a theme here.
But no, it's gone over really well. Everybody I played it with, Korra, Rise of the Empire by, I'm going to say Elio, even though it's pronounced Yellow because Elio sounds cooler. Yellow Games. 2 to 4 players. You're building your own city, asymmetrical cities. You have it's fantastic. We talked about it a lot on the show.
There's a
It's-
review.
Yeah, there's a review for
this,
it.
This is a fantastic game.
Fantastic game.
And I haven't heard enough people talking about this game.
Yeah, and they should because it's really good.
Yeah. Now, did you play that at JuliaCon and then we had to go out and find it?
Yes. Yeah, that's where I played. That's where I played it first.
Yeah,
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 I think
yeah.
on the way home he was.
Yeah, well,
I was looking
There's
at
a
the
lot
way.
of- while
We
driving.
stopped. Yeah, I will not admit or deny that. No, but we went to the game store there and they
Yeah.
didn't have it. So
Right.
then I was like, all right, well, where can I find this at?
Right.
So
Yep.
yeah, that's what it became.
Yeah, we did because I went. Well, we went and got a copy of Unfathomable early
Correct. Yep.
there because I had one. Okay, so that's
That
number
was
one.
my number 1.
My number 1 is mind management.
What?
I-
Not
Mind
surprised.
blown.
It is-
What type of game is that?
Oh, it is a hidden movement. I know, right? That's. This has been one of the most fun I have had with a game.
Yeah, because all the secret stuff.
This year. With all the secret stuff,
yeah.
I really enjoyed the way it plays and the quirky art style. The way it all jives together. And then there's secret stuff that's arbitrary. Oh, that's interesting and kind of funny.
Right.
And then there's stuff that's oh, no, wait. that means something. Let me pop into this website real quick. Oh, I got another card. You know, like another character, another, this
Something
or that.
else,
Man, that's
And
so
then it has the shift system, which will then allow you. I mean, there's like 10 for each side, maybe. Of
Like
like,
one side loses, they like unlock something to help them out. in the
yeah,
next
you get
one.
an extra power. So if the game is too vanilla, right, you can. Or not balanced, right? One
Correct.
side keeps winning,
Right, Tim
but
is
now
too
you're
good, and
now
yeah.
you're getting these extra things, and
take that
it
back.
gives more information, and it's just I've had a really good time teaching and playing this game. I played it multiple times. It's probably one of the games I played the most.
Yeah.
And I just have gotten it since like August.
I mean,
right?
you and I played it 3 or 4 times in the first like week and a half.
Yeah,
that we
and it
had
never got old. I had a
Yeah.
good time playing it, and then I've taught it a bunch of times, and I just have a good at it. And I've taught it and not played even, and it's like,
Yep.
I just really like it.
Yeah.
It's really good.
I was really happy to see another company do something similar recently. I got an email. Oh, no, it wasn't an email. It was a Facebook post. Someone said on the Nemesis Lockdown box, the scientist character has a QR code on their shirt, on their science
Actually
shirt.
scannable?
And everyone started saying, like I haven't done it yet, but everyone's been like, have you guys scanned this yet? It's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
people have been talking about it. So, like, it's cool to see that kind of stuff
Yeah, I
make
love
its
it.
way in. And this game's based around that.
Yeah,
so.
this game is all like paranoia and espionage, right?
Yeah.
So like I mean, there's stuff in the insert. Like I'm going through the insert
yeah.
and like pulling up the insert and like reading it from behind, like you know what I mean? And it's just so much fun. And I've not found
everything.
everything. And I've done a lot of looking. But yeah, every couple of weeks I get in there and I start digging through more stuff and finding things with it. But yeah, it's mind management, man. Off the page games. It's super good. That's my number one.
My number one, I am blown away that no one has mentioned this yet, even way up on their list. So part of me is like, did we play it in 2020?
I mean, I forgot.
I forgot
There
so
are
many.
so many
yeah.
names.
I forgot Ankh,
Yeah.
and that was one of my top 5 favorite games.
Because
of
I'm
the year,
like
for sure.
90% sure that Dune Imperium came out last
Oh,
year.
Nikes.
No, 2020.
Did it
Because
really?
actually,
but
that's
we
my number
play
one
it?
too.
But okay. But
Yeah.
did we play it?
We
I'm
did-
saying
we did
in
play it first
2021.
time in
Because I was
2021.
like, how is this not? This
Yeah.
is amazing. Dune,
Yeah.
I
Dune
played it once and was like, okay.
Yeah, sure. Dune
It's fine.
Imperium is my number one. It is a worker placement deck building game, which might
Yeah.
be why I love it so much. Because literally, like 2
Yeah,
months
you
before
got-
that game came out, I was
You're
like, guys, why aren't
why
there
isn't
any?
this? Yeah.
worker placement deck building games. They'd go so well together. Boom, we had 2 come out at the same time. We had Arnak and Dune Imperium come out
Yeah.
around the
Oh,
same
yeah.
time.
It was Arnak was 2020.
Yeah, I was surprised you didn't
Oh,
mention
yeah,
Arnak.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
so Dune Imperium obviously takes place in the Dune world, and you are placing your workers out and getting resources and stuff, but also building this deck of intrigue or whatever you want to call it, right? And it's just 10 victory points ends the game, and then whoever has the most points after that final round wins. It's a really simple type of game. There's nothing too crazy going on, but like the thing that Dune Imperium has, I guess, is that your cards, where you can put your workers, are dependent on the cards you play, right? So I might only be able to go to orange spaces this turn. So if these other players are taking up all the orange spaces, I'm in a lot of trouble, So that really gives this crunch factor to the game of like trying to figure out the best way to take advantage of the cards in your hand. And then also it's a 2-phase game, so you have the phase where you're putting out your workers and like playing cards to send them places. But then any card you hold back, you get to activate during the reveal phase, and then they give you combat bonuses and stuff like that.
Purchase
and,
power.
and purchase power,
And
yeah,
then you
duh,
have
the big
combat.
thing.
You can't forget the combat in that game.
Right, and the combat. Well, I will say I have seen someone win the game, and I think they only won 1 combat, which is 1 victory point. So it is possible, but it is you gotta be good at deck building if that's what you're doing.
It's tight though too.
It's
really
really
tight.
tight, but not too tight to the fact that you feel pointless, right? But anyway, Dune Imperium is my number one. I cannot play enough of this game. I have sleeved it. I almost bought the upgrade pack just because I like the game so much, but like I feel like it's a detriment.
need it. Yeah.
Like I feel like it's a negative almost because of the board.
In my defense, I think I played Arnak in 2020 at JuliaCon.
Oh, okay. That was way before my time of Arnak.
Yeah. Well, I would say I was, friends and family.
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah.
course.
My number one is also Dune Imperium.
Okay.
Nice. Dune Imperium, by the way, Renegade. We didn't say that.
Dire Wolf.
Dire Wolf. I always call him Foxtrot, but that's the other company.
Right. Direwolf.
Oh no, I love the game, and I've been wanting to play it for a long time, and then we finally got to play it, and I wanted to play it again immediately. Even though it's so close, it's so tight. but for some reason it just works so well that it is close and tight.
I need to play it some more. Like
I wanna play it.
I enjoyed it. I wasn't blown away by it, but it wasn't like. I guess I think some of it too was the hype, right? There was so much hype around it, and then I played it, and I'm like, oh no, this is really good.
It also
that's
has
kinda
a
it.
benefit for me that it's one of the only deck builders that I don't think there is ever like a bad market. Every card in that game is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they're multi-use
mean,
cards.
Yeah,
So
I
you
have
use them to go
never
places
looked at the
and do
market
things.
in Dune Imperium and been like, I don't want any of those. Like, you know? So that's a huge benefit for me because that's a huge pet peeve of mine. So that's
yeah.
something.
All right, guys. That is our top 10.
That is
Those
our
are
top
top
10
10.
games that we
New
played
to
for
us
the first
in
time
2021.
in 2021.
You guys have some honorable mentions you want
Yeah.
to bust through real quick?
I've already mentioned most of mine as you guys were talking about them. There's one that comes to mind.
I got one that I gotta talk about.
Yeah.
It's the
Well,
same one as mine.
Is there something?
Same.
Oh,
Hope it is.
first of all, I guess Court of the Dead, right? Was that 2021? Because I
Yep,
thought
that
it was
was last
early
year.
2021.
I think it's play that one.
But it wasn't on my list because I wasn't sure and I didn't look it up.
Morning Call.
Yeah, Morning Call, Court of the
Oh my
Dead.
gosh, if that was this year or 2021, like for the first time we played, that would totally be on my list.
That's what I'm saying. I
freaking love
thought
that
it was
game.
early, but it stayed off the list just in case.
Yeah, I didn't put it on because I thought we played it in 2020.
Right, which
but-
could be the case. And then the other thing is this is not a board game, so it was an honorable mention. I finally have actually entered a campaign of Dungeons & Dragons.
Oh,
and
right
I'm
on.
just so happy. Like, we're having a fantastic time. Like,
Nice.
I've played GURPS before. I've played a little bit of Pathfinder before. I think I've never actually played Dungeons & Dragons. And now making a character, starting a new campaign with a whole group of like 5 of us, whatever, and playing through this campaign, I've been having a mind-blowing time. I just
Nice.
ordered...
A mini.
Well, hopefully no one watches this because it's a secret when it shows up.
Just
but
say you ordered a mini.
Yeah, I ordered a mini. Yeah, I just can't. I can't wait to play. We're playing again tomorrow. Is our next one. I'm telling you, I have always loved the idea of Dungeons & Dragons, and to actually be able to do it, I am so happy,
jealous.
guys.
Yeah, no, it's great
All
stuff.
you people out there that are like, I don't think it's for me, just give it a shot. My brother used to poo-poo us for liking Dungeons & Dragons. He's like, you just sit there and talk like you guys are losers, right? And then he played it, and it's all he talks about now. So, like, I love it. Anyway, honorable
I'm
mentions.
jealous. I've wanted to.
Oh.
Every time I try to get into one, it lasts maybe 1 or 2 sessions, and then
We have been
falls apart.
so lucky. We set a schedule at the beginning. We are doing it every other Monday, no matter what. If someone can't show
Man.
up, we'll write that into the story, and like it's been fantastic.
Well, the other worst thing is when someone doesn't show up and then the GM kills the character off or does something stupid.
Oh.
You've got to have a good GM.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It's happened to me twice.
Well, you had bad GMs.
Yeah, I know. I just get bad luck.
Hey guys,
So my
you
honorable
play for
mentions.
fun.
This one's been out for a while, but I got to play it at your place for the first time at Anachrony.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh man, that game was
too.
great. Oh, yeah, that was my number 11.
I want to play it more.
Okay.
But then as we were talking, and I remembered one, and that might go up in there in the top 10 easily. Trying to remember the name exactly. Terror from Below.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Terror
yeah.
Below.
Terror Below. Yeah, this
That-
game is
that
not
could-
Tremors
Tremors.
adjacent. Yeah.
That game could have been on my list very easily.
Oh, that was so fun.
That was
very
fun.
easily. I have a
Oh.
lot of fun playing that.
Yeah, you're going around a little character car.
Yeah, you're driving your car around trying to survive the
eggs.
worms
Yeah,
and collect the
bursting
eggs
out here and there and getting eggs and stuff, and then you're just, oh man, you just gotta play it. And I'm jumping the
Yeah.
Anyway,
My honorable mention I had, Tim reminded me of it, Destinies.
Destiny's is good.
That was a good
thought
game. Like,
about
it.
I really want to play that one
We
some
need to
more.
play
Check
some
those
more.
different storylines out, so
Yes.
everything works, and yeah, it's a good one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I guess I thought of one because I think I played it early last year because on the thing of Destinies, I talked about Sleeping Gods Destinies, and the
Yep.
one that I played that blew my mind was Forgotten Waters.
Yeah.
And I think I played that early last year with my family. We have not been able to play it again since. We played like the first scenario or whatever, and I mean, it's not really even like... It's not like you got to the end of the scenario. You're like it's a whole story, like campaign almost. So we just like paused, We're probably gonna have to restart. I'm not gonna remember anything. But out of all the games like that, like even compared to Sleeping Gods, which seems to be everyone's go-to, I thought Forgotten Waters killed it. I don't want to play any of the, like I'll play Destinies because it plays in a completely
quick.
different manner
Yeah,
too.
it was relatively quick.
Yeah, Forgotten Waters. If I played that last year, that's a mind-blowing good little campaign, whatever you call that game.
Which one did you want to talk about, Tim?
Well, so a couple things though, real quick. Like Ankh totally should have been on my list. Dice Miner, fantastic. Blank Slate, Garinto, yes. Wonder Book technically isn't out yet, which is why I left it off.
Right.
But Wonder Book would have been on the list. It is in you're available in Europe, but there's still not in the United States yet. But Wonder Book is really good and definitely worth checking out.
Again, I could have made a top 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
We had a
probably.
great year.
One of my favorite games is definitely not from this year. It's from 2017. That I had a really good time playing though was Whitehall Mystery.
I thought about it, but I like letters better.
Whitechapel better.
Sure.
Whitehall will get played more.
But I played Letters a
better.
long time ago.
Right.
So it doesn't
Yeah,
qualify.
right, yeah. That's funny.
Because we're old.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Yeah, Whitehall Mystery, you got that one. I really loved it and had a good time playing it, even though I hilariously. But it was a gamble. It's a 50-50. I lost.
But I think the fact that you got stuck in a 50-50 on like your second turn that's usually something you want to avoid.
Yeah. But if it had worked, it would have worked so well.
So good.
It's so good. I don't care. I got a good story out of
Oh,
it.
it was great.
I don't
Oh,
care.
man.
It was, but that's again testament to how fun the game was, right?
Yeah,
like I'm having a great time. It doesn't even matter that I whiffed that hard. But yes,
Sometimes
there's
you swing
so
and
many
you
games
miss.
we could have picked.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would instead of saying what did we miss, what were some of your guys' favorite games that you played for the first
new to
time
you.
in 2021?
Yeah, try to avoid games that came out in 2021, but then mention those two. But it's just easier to say, oh, well, Ankh came out last year and I loved it, so Ankh is on my list, right? But it's harder to say, like, oh, I finally played Letters from Whitechapel for the first time. Like,
Right.
that's more difficult to try to call up and talk about. So,
But yeah, Ankh should have been in my top 5. Should have been in my top 5.
Ankh
It'd push
was a good
something out.
I mean, listen, I'm not going to say you're an idiot, but put the context clues together. It has to be next to an empty space.
See, if I deduce that should have happened.
But yeah, anyways, so join up on the Discord. Always like, subscribe, hit
Yep.
the bell, so you get notifications when our videos pop up.
Yeah.
What else you got?
Look for us on for the Meeple. Like I said, a lot of these games that I talk about, I bring to the Meeple meetups. I teach them and everything. So it's your chance to learn
Bob
a new game.
loves teaching you games just so we can kick your butt.
That's right.
Also true. He
Also
cannot help
true.
himself. He
Yeah.
wins the bad teacher award all the time.
If you're brand new to a
I like
game,
50-50.
if you're brand new to a game and you're like, which option's better? He'll be like, I don't know, make a choice. I need to beat you.
Don't do this one.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if you'll straight up lie.
That was only in smartphone, and it was only to Dan, and it was only the one time. And he's still bitter.
Hashtag never forget.
Yeah.
But yeah, always check out our shows on the sister channels at Game Talk Network. There's a Magic the Gathering rundown, Pokemon rundown. There is a miniatures rundown. Also,
So many.
say hey to our friends at the Board Game Mechanics. Jason and Katie are pretty okay. So they got a ton of content out there. But again, Discord. Get on the Discord. That's been the most active way to have conversations with us.
I literally can't keep up with it.
Yeah.
Like, you guys need to start adding me if you want me to respond, because like I'll go into Discord and then I'll go into Discord an hour later and there's
like
a
54
giant
messages.
conversation that they had together, and I was
Yeah.
like, I can't read all that.
Well, there's times where it's like, I got to go back.
Right.
Reply to this one.
Right.
But I love it. That is a great
it's
problem
good.
to have.
Yeah,
I'm
no, it's
so
great.
glad.
Yeah,
and
no, I love that you're talking amongst yourselves. I'm just saying,
Yes.
if you want us specifically answered, you might have to start
Call
adding
us
us.
out.
you might, but that's good. It's a great problem to have. So anyways, thank you for watching. For the Board Game Rundown, I've been Tim.
I've been Bob.
I've been Spencer.
Dan.
This was the top 10. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for checking out the Board Game Rundown. If you like what you saw, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Share our videos on social media and spread the word. We publish new content weekly, including reviews, unboxing, and Let's Plays. And as always, thanks for watching.